Guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be walking you guys through my whole budget planner journey. We're going to talk about the first budget planner I used, and we're going to talk about the budget planner that I'm using at this point. So if you're interested in hearing about that, then please keep watching. Okay, so inside of here is my first budget planner, and so let me just show you what it looked like. So basically, what I did is I took myself to Michael's and I purchased the 6-month budget extension pack. So it's not going to look exactly like this. This is just like some other inserts. It's really from the budget edition. But you're going to get a 6-month pack for the budget edition. And it's going to say budget planner on the front. But you're not going to get any discs or anything like that. So it's literally just going to be some inserts like this, but like bigger than this because it's going to be 6 months worth. So if you already have a classic happy planner or a big happy planner, because they do make this in the big, you can just pop it into your current planner. However, if you want to make like a separate budget planner type deal, then you're going to want to buy some discs. Of course, if you're new, obviously if you're not new to the planning world, you probably already have discs, and you might even want to buy like one of these hard covers or one of these deluxe covers so you can really have some protection. But I pretty much just left this planner at home, but I am going to show you guys what it looked like. So we are needing to flip back here. So this is pretty much, let's zoom in. So this is pretty much what the planner entailed. So you had a month at a glance page, or it has a month at a glance page, and it has like a section for income, projected, actual, total difference, and you have a bunch of categories: housing, transportation, insurance, food, children, taxes, personal care, entertainment, loans, savings / investments, and miscellaneous. Now, when I was starting out budgeting, June 2017, I love this because it provided the most structure that I had really actually seen in any type of like budget planner that was like really affordable. There are a lot out there, but I feel like some of them aren't really affordable. To make this, it was like $10 to make my little budget planner. And so yeah, as far as the price goes, not many out there compared. And so I love this because it provided all of this structure. Now, I didn't ever really do too good at tracking the difference. And honestly, I don't know. The reason why I kind of changed out of this and into the planner thing that I did use back when I switched out of this is because I felt like I really got like a hold of our finances, and I felt like I just had a bunch of space in here that I didn't really use. Like this whole, like, it's not that big a deal to have a children category, you know, when we don't have kids, but as you can see, we only really use like this little bit. And so I just figured that we didn't really need all of that anymore, and that we could move into a different style of planner, which is what we eventually did. But let me just show you the rest of this. So this is the monthly spread. It is going to come undated, and it will come with stickers, so you can date it. And I just used a lot of sticky notes from Michael's, a lot of different stickers from Michael's, stickers from Etsy. And this is, I use this the same exact way. It's just way less cluttered at this point. Like I used it for tracking our bills, a lot of our income. What was interesting is these were for when we paid off credit cards and stuff. That's what I tracked here. That's why they're like bright and standing out, because I wanted to be able to reflect on that. But that's pretty much what I use this monthly spread for. Same way I use it now. Then you have an expense tracker. So I think you actually end up getting like 5 pages of these, which is plenty. As you can see, we use a decent amount of stickers. I mean, I don't know why I just said that. We use a decent amount for tracking our expenses. Not too terrible, but not too great either. As you can see, it's a lot of stuff that we didn't really need. As you can see, this says cash, credit, debit, need / want. And so you see a lot of needs and a lot of wants, but you see more wants than needs, which let us know that we had a problem. But anyway, this was great in the beginning. It provided a lot of structure, and I still swear by it. So that is what we used when we first started. Eventually, I kind of moved into another style of planning, which is similar to my deluxe monthly. I actually gave away that planner, the one that I moved into, but basically it was an Inkwell Press monthly planner, which is basically just like the Erin Condren Deluxe monthly. I mean, it's not just like it, but it has the same contents pretty much, except the Inkwell Press is kind of more focused on goal setting. So that was a nice touch. That's pretty much why I decided to get that Inkwell Press as opposed to the Erin Condren. But for the most part, it still had like the monthly setup and the like the notes pages and all of that. So there are videos about how I planned in the Inkwell Press planner on my channel. I will try to link one or two of them in this video up in the eye in the sky. But otherwise, I do want to show you my current style of planning and how it's similar to this style of planning. It's just a little bit more cleaner, honestly. So I'm going to leave this here for reference. This is my deluxe monthly planner. Now, this is where I track all of the like bills that we have due for the year. As you can see, I am color coordinating. It's just a little cleaner, like I told you. I'm tracking all of the events and traveling that we will have to do for the year just to help us to stay, you know, like stay on top of things and make sure we're budgeting for things. But that's pretty much what I'm using that for. I do have this dashboard up here. So instead of using this monthly checklist, oh, I didn't even show you guys this. Did I show this? How did we skip that? I think we skipped this. So back up. This is the bill pay checklist. You get 2 of them. This is where I put all of our bills and if they were on auto pay or not. And then this is where I track like paying off debt. So this comes with the budget extension pack as well. So you'll get 2 of them. But anyway, this is pretty much the same thing. So now I just track all of my bill payments like on one sheet instead of setting this up every single month. I just check them off as the month progresses, you know? So same thing, it's just a little cleaner and it's a little less work than setting this up every single month, because you do have to set it up every single month because it is attached to this page. So I guess honestly, yeah, because then this is attached to the expense tracker page. So you do have to set it up every month, which, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I like to use all of my pages. But this is just so much easier. And plus, I'll get to reuse this. So after the year is up, if our bills have changed, I can erase all of this and then write them all back out if we have new bills or whatever the case is. So I can kind of reuse this. Again, same thing. It's just this is a little bit more cleaner, I think. So let's just move into... let's take a look at July, which was the first month in here. So, oh, I also have this too, but you guys knew that already, but there might be some new people watching this. So this is pretty much just playing off of this. So it's pretty much the same thing, whereas this is highlighted events and bills and stuff. This is like outlined events and bills and stuff. Same type of situation. This first page is the notes page. And I use this for goal setting. So there is a goal setting sheet in here. I never really used it, but again, same situation. Here it is. It's like a budget review. Where did I have the most trouble? What could I improve this month? What goals can I set for next month? So this is a part of the pack as well. And it would actually go, this is 2. You get one of these in the budget extension pack. So this would actually go back here. You get another expense tracker sheet right here, and then this would be the last page. I don't know where the other expense tracker is. I gave away like all of the remains of my budget extension pack, but you do get the budget review, and then it would just flip into the next month. So you do get like goal setting and stuff there, and I just set my goals here. Same thing, it's just a different setup. And so, whereas this is dot grid, this is line, which that's pretty much what I prefer. And so I just like this better, but it's the same situation. You get to do the same thing in both planners. Now, this is dated, which is another perk of this. This planner is not dated, so you have to date it yourself, which isn't that bad. You could use a pen. You don't have to use stickers, but it is a little bit annoying because the budget extension pack is not dated. So even though I love this, and if it probably has some improvements, I'd probably move back into it, to be honest, but it's not dated, and that's annoying. This is dated, and I don't have to go through all of that. So that just takes away, I mean, it only probably takes me, if I'm dating this with, which I don't know that I've ever dated this with like pen, but if I date this with pen, probably takes like 2 minutes. If I date it with stickers, probably takes like 5 minutes, but that's 2 minutes that I get to save by having a dated planner. So that is why I like to use this. Same sticker situation. This just looks much cleaner because that's what I'm going for, but I use this the same way that I use this. It's literally the exact same thing. This just looks cleaner. I'm still tracking paydays. I'm still tracking our bills and other events and such, still doing the same thing. Here, this is our monthly budget. So I told you guys I did not really track the difference, and I felt that I had a lot of like stuff that I didn't really need. Now this is already laid out, so it does take time for me to like write out all of this stuff, but not really, because I had to write in all of that anyway. So I'm only writing in, you know, a little bit more. So I ditched the differences column, and I have 2 actual columns. So basically I get to do like a mid-month check-in. That's the purpose of the first column. And then like an end of the month check-in. That's the purpose of the second actual column. And so it's the same thing. It's just a little cleaner, a little more condensed. I don't have all of this going on. And to me, it just is more appealing. So that's pretty much why I use this. So it's kind of a catch-22 with some of the different things, but I like this one better. Now on this page, because you do get a lot of notes pages, you get 1, 2, 3, 4. You get technically 5 notes pages, but outside of this notes page, in the goals notes page, you get 3. And so technically, what I would recommend using them for is expenses. Of course, this is already laid out for you, so you're not going to have to like make an expense page. You also don't need to use stickers and washi to make an expense tracker either, but that is what I recommend using these pages for, and that's what I would do if I were not tracking expenses electronically. We track our expenses electronically using the Fudget app, F-U-D-G-E-T, Fudget app. So we don't do this anymore. And that's pretty much one of the other reasons why I decided to move into this, because then I could use this for different ways. So like over here, behind here, I'm tracking business expenses. And then honestly, another good way to use this is that you could do like the other notes pages. Let me just flip to like a blank one, because I'm clearly not trying to show. I'm obviously not trying to show what's on that page. Like here, you could do like, if you got paid once a month or twice a month or 4 times a month, you could do paycheck to paycheck budgets using your notes pages. So a lot of times we will do that. We haven't really done that recently. I only really do those when I'm feeling kind of anxious. Like if there isn't like a certain amount in our bank account, I'm like, let me do this paycheck to paycheck budget to make sure we can afford this next week without having to withdraw or transfer money from our savings account, because the whole purpose of us budgeting is so that we can continue to build our savings or pay down debt and live within our means and not have to withdraw money or transfer money from different accounts. So sometimes I do paycheck to paycheck budgets to try to ease my stress, I guess. That's pretty much why we do paycheck to paycheck budgets, but this is a good place to do those. But you want to know another good place to do those is here. So if you don't want to have like a bill paycheck list, you could use this to map out your different paydays and what your different budgets will look like whenever you get paid. So if you got paid on the 1st and the 15th, you can do your budget for your first paycheck over here, and then your budget for your second paycheck over here. So same concept again. I mean, I just feel like I get a lot of questions about that, and I'm like, I never really explain myself if I'm moving into another planner, because I honestly don't think that anybody really cares that much. Not because I don't feel like I need to explain myself. I just didn't really know that people cared about which planners I'm using. But that's pretty much the reason why I moved into this planner. No real reason. Obviously, I still love the budget extension pack. If it had a few upgrades, I would probably move back into it. But yeah, there's no real reason why I moved into this planner other than those reasons. Back here, I do like this. Though I do have a lot of notes pages back here to track other things. And then I can do some pre-planning back here, which I think is great, especially for the budget. So I do intend to use this section, especially as 2019 draw. What year are we in? Especially as, wait, no, really, what year is it? 2018? Especially as 2018 draws to a close, I will be doing some... No, I lied. When 2019 draws to a close, because this goes up until June 2019. When 2019 draws to a close, I will be doing some future planning here. And then you do get a lot of notes pages. So like back here, I have a stay wild, go wild, savings tracker type budget situation. And yes, I know the ticket price isn't on here. And that's because I am doing my budget outside of the ticket. So this is what I'm going to need, like, after I purchase the ticket. That's just how my brain works. But I got to set that up back here, which, you know, you can add note paper to the Happy Planner. So I'm not saying that you can't. It does come with stickers and a pocket folder, and then I can add in sticky notes and all of that good stuff. So none of the rest of the stuff is like, you know, any real perk to using this. But, well, I did get this for free because people at Erin Condren sent it to me, so technically this is free, but otherwise this actually retails for like $40. By the time you pay for shipping and everything, you're probably going to be paying a good like $45. So to create a year budget planner using the Happy Planner budget extension packs, it would probably cost you about, if you buy the discs in like a hardcover, probably like $25, honestly, because the budget extension packs retail for $9.99. So you can usually get them half off. So that's $5 for 2 packs, because you need 2 packs to make a year. So that's $10. If you buy some discs for 50% off, if you use a 50% off coupon, you can get those for like $3. So that puts you at like $13. And if you buy a hardcover like this, or I guess you could buy a plastic cover, depending on what cover you get. But if you buy a plastic cover, that'll probably sit you at like $22 to $25. So this is going to be like half the price. But again, for me, this was free. But I still prefer to have this for like $45 because I think that this just fits my needs a little better. So that's pretty much why I switched to this planner. I know you guys ask that question all the time. And I'm like, there's no real reason why I switched out of the, you know, Happy Planner budget extension pack. I just did it because I wanted to try something new. And I switched out of this a long time ago, honestly. I love this, but I switched out of this back in like summer of last year. I did switch back into it for 1 month in December 2017, but I switched out of this a long time ago. And yeah, that's pretty much why I'm using the deluxe monthly planner, because I like having that flexibility. And the reason why I know that is because I used that Inkwell Press for 3 months and I loved having that flexibility. It was so just the budget is how I create it. I guess that's why I like it. It's whatever I want it to look like and whatever I want it to be. It can be simple. It can be decorative and fancy. It can be just super basic. It's whatever I want it to be. So that's pretty much why I am budget planning in this deluxe monthly planner. So I know that was a lot and I filmed a lot of videos today. So I hope that that made sense. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.